Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl, Dr. Mary L. Boyde here, the reposition specialist. Hey divas, listen, today's episode, y'all might be mad at me after today, but it's okay. We are walking through this. You know, there are three things that's effing you up in business, okay? Now, the F doesn't stand for what you think it is. It does not stand for what you think it is. It's the three F's. It's fear, feelings, and faithlessness. That's what I call, that's my word, faithlessness, okay? But today we're not going to talk about all three in this episode. I'm going to focus on your feelings. Now, if I hurt your feelings a little bit, it's going to be all right. You're going to get over them, get past them, move on so you can get to your goals, dreams, and aspirations, okay? But our feelings will jack us up sideways. I mean, how many times have you had something to do and you just don't feel like it? You don't feel like doing this. You don't feel like doing that, right? I've been there. My feelings have jacked me up sideways so many times along this journey, right? And for me, this is who I am, y'all. Let me tell you. So when I get in that space where I might be feeling a little overwhelmed, I have so much that I have to get done. Sometimes I can fall into that space of do nothingness. Okay. And when I fall into that space, I have this thing. I say, oh, I'm just going to sit on the couch, look at Lifetime movies and eat bonbons. Okay. My feelings will take me there. But let me tell you, doing that doesn't get me closer to my goal. Doing that doesn't help me complete the task that I have to get done. How you feel sometimes is irrelevant. Okay. You have to push through, press on until something happens. Push through and get it done despite or in spite of how you feel. A lot of times people will tell you, oh, just run with your feelings. And if you feel like that, there's a reason. Well, yeah, it's a reason, but you need to evaluate what's the reason, right? You have to evaluate why you're feeling the way that you are, because your feelings will keep you stuck. Your feelings will keep you on a roller coaster ride. Your feelings will have you not doing the things that you are supposed to do and that you need to do. It's going to mess you up, y'all. So we have to get our feelings under control. And as women, we have a lot of feelings. We are such emotional beings, right? That is how we were made. It really is not a bad thing. It's a great thing, but your response to your feelings is your responsibility, right? And sometimes we feel certain ways because of things that we have chosen to bring into our lives, things that we've chosen to partake in. Let me give an example, right? I'm a night owl. Nighttime works for me all day. Getting up in the morning, oh my. I'm overcoming that. I believe in the power of speaking in your words. And so I'm not going to say I'm not a morning person. What I'll say is I'm overcoming my challenges of getting up in the morning, right? That sounds so much better. But I realize that if I go to bed at 2 and 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, which I sometimes do, that trying to get up at 7 and 8 o'clock in the morning is going to make the challenge even harder. All right. So then I lay there and I think about it. I'm like, oh, I don't feel like getting up. I just feel like rolling back over, going back to sleep. Okay. And it just has to stop. It has to stop. Okay. So there are some things that you may be doing that's causing these feelings. that you may be going through. So for me, for getting up in the morning, it's going to bed late at night. So I can feel like getting up in the morning. I need to go to bed at night at a decent hour so I can get enough rest, okay, to be able to and feel like getting up in the morning. Another thing is I like to do what I like to do. Okay. And there are certain parts of running a business that I just don't feel like doing, right? A lot of the technical parts, even though I am very technologically savvy, I'm that type of person that believe that I can do any and everything that I set my mind to, like, honestly, for real. And I had to go away from that. I had to move away from that because some things that I, would do myself, I didn't need to do. I needed to hire somebody else to do, the subject matter expert or the expert in that particular thing, right? To do what needed to be done. But I believe that I can do any and everything. And as I started focusing on my gifts and talents and what I was supposed to be doing and releasing everything else that I felt like I could do, I started to not want to, this technical thing, especially when it came to social media, the algorithms and knowing when to post when and what it looks like. I'm like, I don't feel like doing all of that. I don't feel like learning all of that stuff. I just don't feel like it. But guess what? It's part of my business. So whether I felt like it or not, I had to do it. Sometimes you wake up and you like, I don't feel like adulting today. I just don't want to adult. I don't feel like handling no responsibilities. I don't feel like adulting today. I don't feel like being a wife. I don't feel like being a mom. I don't feel like cooking. I don't feel like cleaning. I don't feel like getting on any calls. I just don't feel like it. But what I had to understand is I had to evaluate why I didn't feel like it. What was happening in my world, in my life during that time? Right? Was I taking care of myself? Was I going hard, if you will, for days on end, and I never took a day out to myself? Am I exhausted? Am I getting enough sleep? Am I eating properly? Right? There are so many things that I had to evaluate of why do I feel like this? Why am I in this space? And so when you are feeling like you do not want to work or live in this space that you need to be in, that you need to work in, that you need to work out of, there are things that you must do, must accomplish, and must get done, but you are in your feelings. It's time to take a step back. I say fast forward backwards. Okay. You fast forward backwards. You take a moment and you evaluate the situation, because you do not want your feelings to keep you on this hamster wheel. Year after year, you make these resolutions. Okay. You make these resolutions and they sound real good at the beginning of the year. You do these vision boards. And by March, maybe even February of that year, your vision board looked like blurred lines. Okay. It's like, what is happening? What is going on? You haven't taken one step towards nothing that you put on your vision board because you are all in your feelings, right? Who around you are affecting your feelings? Who are you talking to? Are they making you feel good about yourself and what you're doing? Or are they making you feel like you're crazy and you can't possibly do what you're setting out to do? Not only do you affect your feelings, that conversation between your ears that you have, but your outside influences can also affect your feelings. Who are you listening to? What are you listening to? Who are you watching? What are you watching? All of that affects your feelings, especially when it comes to the feeling that you can accomplish all that you want to accomplish. You have to get to know yourself. Know yourself. Know when these feelings and these signs pop up. Be aware of them so they're not catching you off guard. I know when I'm getting there. Let me tell you one of the ways that I know that I'm feeling overwhelmed. I stop munching. It's like every time I turn around, I'm like munching, and I love candy. Okay, y'all. I'm old school. So I like the old school candy, like the lemon heads, the red hots, the hot tamales. Like that's me. I love that. Give me some salt and vinegar potato chips, a Snickers, and a Coke. Yes. Okay. Or a Kit Kat and a Coke. That's me all day. So I find myself munching. I find myself picking up candy and all of that. And it is like, wow, I'm in my feelings. I'm feeling overwhelmed. Let me take a step back so I can work through this, so I can continue to move forward with getting the things done that I need to get done. So your feelings, y'all, one of the things that's effing you up in business, the F is feelings. Get out of your feelings. Move out of your way. Feelings are good, but you need to evaluate while you're having them. And once you understand what is causing you to have these feelings, now you can address it. You can work through them and you can walk through them. All right. Your feelings, get them under control. Are you ready? Let's walk.